One of the most famous air battles early in World War II was the Battle of Britain, where Germany was looking at invading England, and in order to do so, they wanted to knock out the Royal Air Force.
The Battle of Britain was the first major campaign to be fought entirely by air forces. 19 squadrons of Spitfires and 33 squadrons of Hurricanes faced the Luftwaffe.
The defense of England rested in the hands of a couple of hundred fighter pilots who were fending off the German bombers who were trying to flatten the defenses of England. The two aircraft that were key in defending England were the Hawker Hurricane and the Supermarine Spitfire. There were more Hawker Hurricanes in service during the Battle of Britain than there were Spitfires.
It was slower than its counterpart, the Supermarine Spitfire. The Hurricane, like the Mark II, flew at 342 miles per hour or 550 kilometers per hour. But it could outturn, during the Battle of Britain, both the Spitfire, its colleague, and the enemy, the Messerschmitt Bf 109E. So the Hurricane was still a very nimble fighter with lots of power.
The Hurricane had a tighter turning radius than the Spitfire, 800 feet for the Hurricane compared to 880 feet for the Spitfire, which is a vital attribute in air combat.
The philosophy, especially early in World War II, was to allow the Spitfire to go after the German fighters, and the Hurricanes were supposed to target the German bombers. But in a situation where hundreds of bombers and fighters are flying over the channel to bomb England, that philosophy tends to fall apart in a big hurry. You're going to shoot at whoever happens to cross your path, and that idea of let the Hurricanes hit the slower bombers just didn't stand up very well.
During the 12-week battle, 1,733 German aircraft were destroyed, compared with 971 British fighters. The Battle of Britain is considered to be a major turning point of World War II and prevented Germany from invading Britain. Together, the Hawker Hurricane and the Supermarine Spitfires turned the tide of history's first great air battle.
During the Battle of Britain, 55% of all the enemy aircraft shot down were hit and destroyed by Hawker Hurricanes. So more than the famous Spitfire, who got all the glory in that battle.
The Spitfire tended to be seen as the glamour machine. It was kind of the sex appeal airplane. It was slimmer, it was lighter. It gained a reputation that far exceeded that of the Hawker Hurricane. The Hawker Hurricane gets far less acknowledgement and appreciation than sister ship, the Supermarine Spitfire. The Hawker Hurricane actually flew before the Spitfire, although they were developed at the same time. The Spitfire flew just 4 or 5 months after the prototype Hurricane. The Spitfire was an airplane of a completely different design philosophy. Instead of the tube steel, wood, and fabric, the Spitfire was all metal. It had very little internal structure, and it was built as a monocoque construction, meaning that the strength of the airplane was in the skin of the fuselage and on the wings. And because of these revolutionary changes in design, it became known as the glamour ship as compared to the Hurricane. The Hurricane became seen as more the workhorse airplane.
Although the Hurricane was responsible for more enemy aircraft destroyed in the Battle of Britain, its reputation was eclipsed by the Spitfire's graceful silhouette and romantic legend.
The Hurricane has a lot of distinction, and it served all over the globe in every theater of operation of the Second World War where the British or the Canadians or the Allies were fighting. So it is a vital part of aviation history.
Never in the field of human conflict was so much owed by so many to so few.